Hello and welcome to Stuff and Things and That, and our feature, it's free, but is it worth it? We are playing today a game called Art of Defense. This is currently free to play on Steam right now, and we're going to see if it's any good. I've put about a couple of hours into this so far. My towers are quite leveled up and what have you. It's got the usual tropes that you would get in a tower defense game. Many different types of towers that you can build. The guided path that the enemy troops are going to take throughout the level, and the special abilities down the right hand side here that you can trigger should you get overwhelmed by the troops. So we can see different kinds of troops coming in here. Walking troops, buggies, jeeps, there's tanks, flying enemies, all sorts of different things that you can come across. And in usual tower defense style, you've got the different types of towers you can use. So right here we've got a siege house, which has quite a fast rate of fire but doesn't do a lot of damage. The flame turret, which is a slightly reduced rate of fire but reasonable amount of damage. And then the minigun, which is really fast and is quite good at taking out the jeeps and such. So you can see at the top the currency that you use to spend in the level, the gold there. So we can see it'll cost 1200 to upgrade that tower to level 3, and currently got 2400 gold, so be able to upgrade that. Takes a few seconds to upgrade it, so it's sometimes better to do that during the cooling off period between levels. You can see at the top there how many waves are in the level. Currently on wave 6 or 7. The base health is 100%. Trying to get into this factory over here. And that blue is in-game currency that you use as part of the free-to-play aspect of the game, which we'll dive into a little bit after this mission is finished. This is quite an early level, it's not that far on. This is in chapter 1. I'm currently halfway through chapter 2 in the campaign. So there we go, victory. Now we can see here we've got 3 heroes that we've unlocked, and this guy here has just leveled up, so we can show you that in a moment. Okay, so this is the map selection screen. We can see here we're on chapter 1, and there's 9 levels in this chapter by the looks of it. When you complete a level, you'll get this icon here. If we go on chapter 2, we can see these red squares I haven't even tackled yet. The green ones where these banners are still showing. I've played those levels, but I haven't 100%ed them. And then these ones I have 100%ed. So if we look at that, you get 2 different currencies for completing a level. You get the gold and you get the blue crystals. Now the blue crystals is what you're going to use as part of the free-to-play mechanism of the game. And they are priced thusly here. So you can see there, 1000 crystals costs you 147. And you can trade those crystals in for gold, which is used to power up your towers and heroes. And you can also use it to buy fuel. Now, fuel is akin to a lot of those free-to-play games you tend to get on mobile, where it lets you play for a certain amount of time before your energy or stamina runs out. That's what fuel is in this game. Right now it is infinite, because when you first play the game you get this golden badge which lasts about 60 odd 70 hours, something like that, and it basically gives you infinite fuel for the first 2.5-3 days of playing it. You can buy a badge later on which will help out with buffs and what have you, but for the most part at the start of the game you're not going to run out of fuel for the first few days. So we can see here, if we were to click on a level for example, we can see there that to play this level would cost 10 fuel. Now I think you have a usual daily limit of 100 fuel, well I'm guessing it's a daily limit, but 100 fuel. So once you've played 10 levels, then that fuel is going to be used up, and you're either going to have to pay your gems to buy more fuel, or wait for that gauge to stock back up. So there's a lot of criticism around that, in that with most mobile games, that fuel or stamina is going to be the issue. I don't actually see that as being this game's biggest issue. What I see is this section here, which is the upgrades. So you've got each of your towers here, your siege tower, your minigun, your slow tower, tank, etc. But what you've got here is a raft of upgrades for each tower. Now this may sound like, a fair bit of depth, but it is quite a linear upgrade system, and it feels quite arbitrary. It's like it doesn't need to be here. So for example, we spend 12 of our gold to make that tower an extra 15% damage. Spend another 18 gold to make its firing radius a bit wider. And then we can choose again, do we want 10% more damage, or do we want damage to specific vehicles, that sort of thing. So whilst on the surface that may sound good, you're upgrading your towers and what have you, but that shouldn't really be necessary, because at the end of the day, all that's going to happen is these levels are just going to throw baddies at you with more and more hit points. So if something's got 100 hit points and you up your damage by 10%, then you go into another level and the baddie's health is just going to be 110 or 120. So it's almost like an artificial way of gating access to higher levels behind this upgrade. So it's almost like you're going to have to grind out the lower levels to improve your towers before you can start to take on the harder levels. So at the beginning it might not seem an issue, but I think later on that is going to be the wall you're going to hit. So we're going to go into this level here. I probably won't have time to play the whole thing because I don't intend to have this level going on too long, but we'll put a tank there that does blast area. So you can, as you can see, block off paths to give them a little bit of a longer route through the level. So we can see already now that these aren't going down as quick as they were on that previous level, and that's because we're on chapter 2 now, so everything's got more hit points than it did in chapter 1. So if we've got to spend gold in upgrading all of our towers in the menu, then we're going to have to grind out those lower levels quite a lot in order to get enough gold to get these towers leveled up. We'll just finish this wave and we'll go back out to the menu and show you some of the other features. So you can see there, you sometimes get things dropped on the level, like bars of gold or some crystals. They feed into your end game thing. Right. So you can speed it up as well. So we'll just sit here and we'll let them overrun us. In fact, we'll sell this tower just so we can lose a lot quicker and show you some of the features of the game. Here we can see some flying enemies. You would need an anti-air turret to take them out. So we'll surrender that map there. Go back to the menu. Another aspect is cards. So during the levels you'll get these cards will drop randomly, and you're allowed to apply 2 cards to each tower. So again, they just boost certain abilities of the tower. So we can see there we've got the rate of an RPG is +7% and the grenade speed is +2%. So various different things can get added. So the tank there, I've got a +8% damage card. You can sell those cards for money if you've got your slots filled up and the card you get isn't better than one you've already using, so you can get a little bit of gold back that way. And the heroes themselves, so again, this is what we have here. You can see Ostovsky is level 7, and he gets slotted into a siege house, and Alex gets slotted into machine gun. And we can see here that we're ready for an upgrade there, so it'll cost 9 gold to upgrade him. Again, there's that gold spent. You've got your various achievements within the game, so again, destroying enemies, get your reward, that'll get you 50 gold. Obviously held on to these for the purposes of demonstration here, so various different things, destroy enemies with a machine gun, done that quite a few times, so the next time I hit that 3,000 cap, I'll get 100 gems. But again, as with most free-to-play / mobile games, these will start to dry up very quickly, and it will start to become a grind. Yeah, so we can see there that the fuel is showing 300 of 100. That's because through competing levels I've been getting more fuel, but it's not going down because of that badge buff that we've got going on at the moment. So that's basically the general gist of the game here. So we've got 749 gold bars there, and we can see here that further along this track we've got this hero here. So you'd have to go quite a way along that track to unlock that hero, and that hero will appear in here, and we'll be able to mount that hero into the tank turret within a level. So the levels themselves, there are multiple objectives in them. So there's the initial level, which is just basic playing the level, and then you've got the secondary objective, where instead of them attacking your base, they're stealing things from it and trying to escape. So it's basically the exact same level but in reverse. And then you've got a fog level where you literally can't really see much of the level, so we'll show you that. You can only see immediately around the tower that you're going to build, so adds a little bit of replayability, but at the end of the day, if you've memorized the level layout, which you probably have because you've just done scenario 1 and scenario 2, then you're going to pretty much know what's going on. So these are the heroes, so we can get this guy, and he can go into one tower and one tower only. Likewise, we can put her into the gas station, so she's now in there, she's in the gas station, and she'll buff that station. They'll do more damage, or it'll be a wider radius, that sort of thing. So I guess overall it's decent, you know. I mean, it's playable. It's what you see is what you get. It's a tower defense game at the end of the day, and there's one of those cards that we saw earlier. But for me, I think the problem is going to be that grind. I don't know when that grind's going to kick in, but I fully expect it will. Is it worth it? Yeah, I mean, I've sunk 2 hours into it so far, and I can see me playing it for a little bit longer at least. You know, I am a fan of the tower defense genre, so I probably will see this through for an hour or 2 more at least. I'll see how long it takes before we hit that paywall, and I may come back with an alternative view after that fact. So yeah, we can see there sometimes your towers overheat and they won't shoot for a while until they've cooled themselves down, so there is a temperature rate on those, and so you have to wait for the cooldown period. When you do advance the waves sooner, you do get a little bit of a gold bonus for that. Again, typical tower defense style stuff. So if you play tower defenses, then you know what to expect really. That's pretty much it. maybe duck into one of these later levels, show you how complex it can be. There is one other thing here. So there is a little bit of a plot within the game, and you're unlocking these USB sticks in the different levels within the game. So there's a little bit of a backstory in there, a little bit of plot to add to the experience, I suppose, but it's a tower defense game at the end of the day. What more do you need to know? There's not really much of a plot. So this is a little bit more of a complicated level. As you can see, there's quite a few paths that we could take through this level. We could block areas off to force them to go around the long way. So we could put just a cheapy tower there, so they're forced to go around the mountain the long way. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. Like I say, I'm going to play it for a little bit longer, see if it gets any better, and or if that paywall starts to hit in. Okay, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there are any free-to-play games that you think are worth a look, and we'll maybe take a look at them in a future edition. Bye for now.